Hello and welcome to InfoHub. Today was the longest day of the year, the summer solstice in the northern hemisphere. Now let's tell you what you need to know for today, Thursday, June 21, 2018. A PAHO team is assisting with mercury contamination investigation at the GGMC. CDC is assessing the flooding in South Rupununi. CPL coming to Providence Stadium, and the Restaurant Week is here again. Thanks for joining us. We begin with news that a Pan American Health Organization team is currently assessing the mercury cleanup efforts at the GGMC Breakdam complex. Here is Alexis Rodney.
The team, comprising 2 industrial hygienists, 2 physicians, and a mining engineer, is conducting tests to determine if any trace of mercury remains at the complex. The team arrived on Wednesday and met with the Ministers of Natural Resources Raphael Trotman and Public Health Minister Valdo Lawrence, along with Minister within the Ministry of Social Protection Keith Scott. Minister Trotman explained that the OSH department had cleaned and certified the area is free of mercury. However, a third-party opinion is needed to approve the certification.
This has been a wake-up call to us. It is a matter that has been ongoing for, as I said, perhaps decades. But it came to the fore a few months ago, and now we are faced with the reality that we can't postpone any longer or pretend that this is not an issue in there. So your presence here is perhaps in the very short and immediate term to look at the compound and its environs, and then, if you will, provide some guidance to the government and its agents as to how to proceed.
The team will be familiarizing itself with GGMC's process of retrieving and burning the gold. Head of team Catherine Beecham said that a drone mercury vapor analyzer will be used to determine whether there are many more detectable levels of mercury at the facility.
We are not here specifically to say it's safe to return. We're not able to say that. What we can say is what the current levels are based on our best measurements, and we can make recommendations to further reduce exposures if exposures are still occurring, and we can make recommendations on how to prevent employee exposure.
The Guyana Gold Board ceased burning gold at the GGMC complex in April following health and safety concerns. The board is currently sourcing alternative facilities. In the interim, a licensed gold dealer is burning the gold. Alexis Rodney for Info.
A team from the Civil Defense Commission, CDC, will be visiting and assessing flood-affected areas in the South Rupununi. CDC's Director, Lieutenant Colonel Kester Craig, says the Commission and the region's Democratic Council is monitoring the Takadu and Irang rivers and the roadways. Currently, they are looking at the status of the location identified for shelter and its capacity, supplies for relief and health facilities to ensure adequate drugs are available in the event of an outbreak. They're also assessing the region's response coordination system. The CDC director is encouraging residents to stockpile on food and water, medical supplies, and other household items since most of the roadway is cut off. Now let's turn our attention to news in the mining sector. Tiffany Rogers tells us that the Guyana Mining School opened its first 2-day symposium on greener mining for small and artisanal miners.
The symposium is a collaboration between the Australian High Commission and the Ministry of Natural Resources through the Guyana Mining School. Ministry of Natural Resources Technical Officer for Mining, Yulene Watson, noted the government's commitment to sustainable mining.
The government does not have any intention of closing down the industry. However, it is expected that miners will be more cognizant of the environment in which they operate. Hence, seeing the theme of the symposium towards a green development strategy, ensuring decent work environments for artisanal and medium-small miners is indeed heartening.
The artisanal, small and medium miners make major contributions to the country's economy. At a reception before today's opening, Australian High Commissioner to Guyana John Pilbeam explained the symposium is part of continuing efforts to engage the Australian alumni in the Caribbean.
Because the symposium is a pioneering one, we're aiming to cover a lot of ground. For small-scale miners, we'll be looking at business organisational issues, using your land, labour and capital efficiently. Mining will always be hard work, but that's fine if you can earn a decent living from it. By, for instance, prospecting where you're much more likely to find the gold and diamonds that you're looking for. Book knowledge, as well as experience of geology, can help.
The symposium will also feature presentations on alternatives to mercury for increased recovery, as well as safe and environmentally friendly mining practices. For InfoHub, Tiffany Rogers.
Hundreds of Mahaica Berbice residents are set to benefit from 2 new smart health centers which were opened on Wednesday by Minister of Public Health, Valda Lawrence, in Region 5. The first is in Cotton Tree on the west coast of Berbice, and the second at High Dam in Carlton Hall Village. Here's that report.
Minister Lawrence urged the nurses and other medical personnel to care the facilities and encourage residents to utilize the facilities.
You, the residents, can now have access to health care in a much easier and faster fashion. That your relatives and children can now access a health service that caters specifically for your catchment area and its needs.
Residents previously traveled miles to other health centers or used the older dilapidated buildings. A midwife attached to the newly constructed High Dam Health Center, Marissa Abrams, expressed her satisfaction with the facility.
We'll be able to give quality health care. People will be able, the community will be able to come out and access better care than before.
The health facilities are equipped with modern amenities including improved disability access, designated dressing rooms, more beds, cleaner and more adequate space, a designated antenatal room, a pharmacy, and better waiting areas. With the opening of these new smart health centers, the region now has a total of 17 facilities serving its residents. For InfoHub, Letitia Isaacs.
InfoHub continues. Thanks for staying with us. A walk and a formal visit to a burial site were held in remembrance of the victims of the Lindo Creek Massacre. Stefan Gabriel was there earlier today and filed this report.
Despite inclement weather, the walk began at the Square of the Revolution and proceeded along Vicingen Road towards the Lower Pintier Cemetery. It gathered support from family members and friends of those who passed: Bonnie Harry, Horace Drakes, Dax Orokium, Cecil Orokium, Nigel Torres, Clifton Wong, Lancelot Lee, Compton Spears. After the march ended at the Lower Pintier Cemetery, relatives viewed the tombs. Commissioner of the COI, retired Justice Donald Trotman, said that the remembrance ceremony is an important part of the investigation into the miner's death.
Today, we have here a formal public visit to this site by the Lindo Creek Commission of Inquiry. This occasion is an important and integral part of our inquiry, just as our visit to the campsite at Lindo Creek was. We were there to confirm the fact of what happened there. And we are here today to confirm the fact of what happened here.
Justice Trotman added that those present are testimony to the Commission's commitment to finding the truth.
Our being here today, the Commission and all of us, members of our Secretariat, families, the media, and all present here, is testimony to the Commission's continuing commitment to find truth so that justice, closure, and reconciliation could result for the benefit of our inquiry, for the benefit of the surviving families of these men, for the benefit of the nation.
The relatives were given helium balloons to release in remembrance of their lost ones. A memorial service was held yesterday at the Brickdam Cathedral for relatives and friends to share their memories of the 8 men who lost their lives in the tragic massacre. For InfoHub, Stefan Gabriel.
A survey carried out by the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, IICA, has found that the majority of farms in Guyana can be classified as family farms. Minister of Agriculture Noel Holder explains in this report.
Interestingly, the study found that about 75% of all farms in Guyana may be characterized as family farms because our farmers rely solely on the farm for their livelihood, which is usually operated by families. It is also found that our farmers do not pay much attention to the concept of family farming.
Minister Holder said IICA's findings are timely as it supports the development of policies conducive to sustainable family farming.
As I see it, there are two important roles of family farmers. One is on food security, as availability, access, and utilization of nutritious food. And the second is sustainable production to adapt to and mitigate the effects of climate change. On the latter, family farming is seen as an approach for sustainable, integrated, diversified, organic, low input, natural agriculture, which is in line with the Green State Development Strategy of Guyana.
IICA's representative in Guyana, Wilmot Garnett, explained that the consultation workshop serves to refresh stakeholders' understanding of family farming and global efforts to raise the profile and support for family farming, among others.
The expected results are to improve clarity of the concept and the potential benefits for agricultural development as an important base for pursuing further interventions in family farming. Two, of course, to build consensus that the characteristics of family farming within the agriculture community are sufficiently strong to stimulate interest in pursuing family farming as an integral part of the National Agricultural Development Framework.
The Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture earlier today hosted a workshop at the Regency Suites to present its findings on key family characteristics, country family farming profiles, and discuss the way forward. For InfoHub, Stefan Gabriel.
For the next 10 days, persons will have the opportunity to sample unique cuisines at reduced prices as the Tourism and Hospitality Association begins its 6th season of Restaurant Week. Crystal Stahl has more to tell us.
A total of 18 restaurants are participating in the event. OMG restaurant manager Andrew James and director of sales at the Marriott Hotel Davis Sugdio are excited to once again have their establishments be part of the event.
It is an excellent initiative, and it's an event that we feel will help to raise the standards of the restaurants in Guyana. We've always seen an increase in patrons coming, customers, and we've always tried to do our best to give them quality.
For us, we've had an amazing experience, and that's why we chose this time to come on board again.
Participating for the first time, owner of Cafe Belvana, Nirvana Mahes.
I think it's an exciting thing. It's a good thing, especially for us new restaurants, that we're able to come on board and we're able to get some publicity, and we're glad that we have the opportunity to be part of this event at such a young stage.
Guyana Restaurant Week Organizing Committee member Sean McGrath.
The reality is when they participate, they see the numbers of covers they are doing growing quite dramatically. So you turn around, you're operating at lower margins, but you're operating at much higher numbers, and they actually see increased revenue over the 10 days than they would over a regular 10-day, the same regular 10-day period.
Guyana Restaurant Week began in 2015 with 11 restaurants, and numbers have increased annually. This year, it will begin on June 22nd to July 1st. Crystal Stahl for InfoHub.
The government and the Hero Caribbean Premier League today signed an agreement for the Providence National Stadium to host cricket matches. The number of matches and dates will be announced later. And now our final report for today. The third Alien Pompey Invitational is slated to be the biggest, featuring Olympic gold medalist Kirani James. Here are the details.
The event, set for June 30 at the Leonora Track and Field Center, will feature 25 countries, close to 100 athletes, and 17 track and field events. Commonwealth gold medalist and Olympian Alien Pompey expect the meet to be action-packed.
The popular event, it seems to be the 400 meters that's going to feature Kirani James, the Olympic and world champion, as well as Olympic silver medalist from the last Olympic Games from Grenada. He'll be contesting the event against Guyana's own Winston George, and I'm sure it will be a great race.
The triple jump event will also be one of the main events as it features Guyana's Commonwealth gold medalist Troy Doris. Other top athletes in the event include Bahamian Olympic silver medalist Levan Sands and 2018 South American Games gold medalist Miguel Van Hassen from Suriname. The caliber of athletes set for the event, Pompey said, speaks to the growth and direction in which the competition is headed.
I think we're going in the right direction in terms of growth and the quality of athletes that we're able to attract. Obviously, Karani being our biggest name so far, so I'm extremely excited to see what can happen.
Some of the local talent that will be participating include World Under-18 silver medalist Daniel Williams, Olympian Jeremy Bascom, and Owen Adonis. Overseas athletes will start arriving in Guyana from Wednesday, June 27. Isaiah Braffett for InfoHub.
Now here are your bridge and weather reports. And before we wrap up, let's leave you with the World Cup match results for today.